Welcome to the MFR Coaches Podcast, where we talk about how you can create a six-figure MFR practice. I'm your host, Heather Hommel. Not only have I been practicing MFR for 11 years, I'm also a life and business coach, especially for MFR therapists. My goal is for you to understand how to get fully booked, how to talk to your clients, and how to make sure they understand what's possible for them with MFR treatment. I'm here to help you stop under-earning, overworking, and burning out. I'll lend support so you can create the MFR practice you've always wanted. Learn how you can do it too, even if you live in a tiny town, and even if you're just starting out, and even if you've ran your practice for years. Let's go. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the MFR Coaches Podcast. I'm joined today by Gwen Bernardo. Gwen is the owner of Performance Myofascial Release located in Chatsworth, California, and she's also a student in my foundations program. Gwen, welcome to the program. How are you doing?
Oh, I am wonderful, Heather. Thank you so much for having me on. It is my pleasure.
Yeah, I'm super excited to talk to you today. Now, you've been working with me for a couple of years. You've been in the program, I think, for like over 800 days when I look at your profile. Can you believe it's been that long?
Yeah.
It seems like just yesterday.
It does seem like just yesterday. I can't believe, I know it's been over 2 years, but yeah, wow.
Yeah. So let's catch up a little bit. Why don't you tell people, let's just start with your origin story. How did you find myofascial release?
So I came to myofascial release through my equine physical therapy business. I had had that practice for about 12 years, needed some continuing education. Tamara Thomas was teaching an equine myofascial release class. I took it. I was shocked at how easy and gentle the work was, not only on the horses, but on myself compared to what I had been doing for 12 years. And decided to take it home to my practice and started working on the horses with it. And I have to be honest, within probably 6 weeks of working with the horses, the entire complexion of that business changed, getting really powerful results with the horses to the point where the owners, the riders, and the trainers were asking me to then work on them. They were like, oh my God, Cooper's jumping with his knees up in his face, or his back is so much better. Can you do that to my back? And I said, well, fascia's fascia. I don't work on humans, but let me work on you. And had a lot of success working with the trainers and the owners and the riders to the point where I realized I really enjoy this. So I went to a healing seminar because I didn't have a license to touch, and I got a bunch of work done myself at Therapy on the Rocks. And within 6 hours of having treatment, I dropped 19 years of PTSD from a very serious riding accident I had had. And it was at that moment that I went, wow, everything changed for me. I have to work on people. This is life-changing, life-improving work. And so I went to massage school and got my license to touch, and I have not looked back.
That's amazing. So how has that horse to human transition been for you?
Well, I loved working with the horses, and I always used to joke that I didn't really like the people part of the business. And it was just so much easier to deal with the horses. But because MFR is so fun and so effective, and the clients are able to give me the feedback, the horses could give you a feedback, but the humans give you even more impactful feedback. I find it much more rewarding, honestly, to work with people. And also when you say to people, here's your plan of treatment, you're going to probably need at least 6 to 18 sessions. They're like, okay. And they understand why, and they feel the results, where if you say that to someone about their horse, they sort of look at you like, I don't want to invest that much in Buster. Can't you fix him in one session? So anyway, there you go.
Yeah. So interesting. Okay. So you had this horse physical therapy business. You were treating horses. Then you went to the seminar, found myofascial release, got treated, then went to massage school. How quickly after you were done with massage school did you decide to open up your MFR practice?
If I'm being honest, I started actually before I finished massage school. And I went to massage school specifically for MFR. I never gave a massage one time in my life that I wasn't required to in school. And I actually started the foundations program with you even before I had opened my business.
That's right. I remember that like way back. And I remember that you talking about, I've only ever worked on horses really. And so this is a big transition. So
yeah,
that's so fun. This is such a great story. And also I think you're not the only one who's joined foundations before they were licensed to touch. right? I've had an instance of someone finding me, then going to massage school, then becoming an MFR therapist, which is just wild. So it's fun to see like where this clicks in, where people find out about me, where people find out about MFR, and the career evolved from there. So very interesting. What were you going to say? I cut you off.
Oh, nothing. Just that, when I told my husband that I wanted to work with the MFR coach, he said, "You already have a successful equine business. You already know how to build a business." And I was like, "Well, thank you for your advice. However, I'm going to take my own counsel." And this is a gal who shows you how to have a $100,000 business, which is not where my equine practice was.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it correctly. I'm going to take the coaching because I had to build my equine practice by myself. And so I didn't want to have to build an MFR practice alone. So that's why I joined coaching over 2 years ago.
I love that. So when you joined, you were thinking, okay, I just don't want to do this alone, but you had already set up a business that was successful, maybe not where you thought it could go, but it was a functioning business. What did you learn when you joined that you didn't know?
The joy of selling packages. Really and truly, it never even occurred to me to do that with the horses to produce predictable income. And so learning how to sell package, well, first of all, setting my rate correctly, learning how to set my rate for what I wanted to earn, not like what everybody else was doing, was huge.
Yeah. Let's talk about that for a minute. What was that experience like for you to go from like what you thought you would charge to like knowing what was what you're calling it, like the correct amount to charge? What was that journey like for you?
Actually, it's pretty easy. I just sort of, I don't luckily have a lot of drama around money.
Okay.
So I just saw what the number was and I went, oh, okay, well, that's what it's going to be. And because I didn't have a practice before with humans, there was nothing that I needed to overcome. There wasn't like, oh, I'm charging 100. Now I need to charge 180, whatever drama. It was just, oh, this is what it is. Let's just do this. So
that's nice. It's good to hear like these experiences because a lot of people do get really hung up on the rate change, even when it's focused on facts and data. So I love to hear this experience of like, I don't have money drama. So like once I heard it, I just implemented it. That is possible for people listening. Even if you have money drama, you can still implement any rate change. I will walk you through it. We do it all the time. So, okay. So you got your rate figured out. Then what?
Then I just started telling everybody what I was doing. So I'm super old school. I don't do a lot of social media. I do a lot of networking, knee to knee, eye to eye, heart to heart. And so that has been really helpful for growing my business. And so I want people out there to know you don't have to be a social media guru, even a little bit, because I'm like the least savvy social media person ever. So what else? Yeah, no, selling packages. And then not only selling the first package, but the second and the third, really understanding the plan of care and how myofascial release benefits people. And one of the things in coaching sometimes that I go through is this isn't happening fast enough.
Yeah.
It's really super important to hear from other therapists that, yeah, this does take time. We're looking for incremental changes. Having the support of the coaching calls really helps me keep my belief level up, because if you're just sort of out by yourself and it's taking longer than you quote unquote think it should, it can be very discouraging.
Yeah. I think it's hard too for people to see their micro wins when there's not someone there to point them out for you all the time. And that's one of the fun aspects in coaching is like, you can just hear someone else celebrating this small change. And then you can be like, oh, can I make that change? Or have I already made that change? And oh yeah, I have. And here's all the results of that change for me, and starting to really celebrate those things. What do you think has been the hardest thing for you in setting up your MFR business?
Yeah, that really is my greatest challenge. I loved how you had overcoming objections as one of the modules in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
I've listened to that. I've written it. I've massaged it. Now I sound exactly like you whenever there's an objection.
Scary.
But you know what? Once I get your words and can make them my own,
yeah,
that's the key. And it's been so super helpful. And I really haven't, other than getting my head around online scheduling, getting back to the whole like technology thing. I have a minor fear of technology. I'm going to be real. That is my biggest obstacle in my business right now is I need to just get out of my way and figure it out and get a virtual assistant or something. I don't know. Something's got to change.
Yeah, there's lots of ways to solve the problem. I do want to point out though, like you don't currently have online booking, which is one of the things that I'm always like, you need online booking, you need online booking, and you have the result of being fully booked. So I just want to point out that even though you have this fear of technology and like the resistance to the online booking, it's still working, right? And I think this is important to share with the audience is like, you don't have to do things just because I say. And we've had this conversation multiple times, and I always forget like the reasons why you don't have it. And then I'm always like, oh yeah, I remember. And I'm still going to suggest that you do it, right? But I'm not going to downplay the fact that things are still working for you. And I'm not going to say it's not working just because you're not doing it, quote unquote, my way or my suggested way. So I want to say that's a very good job out of you. And I think that when the timing is right, and I think like just being open to the change is the win. Doesn't mean you have to do it right now.
Well, thank you. I will take that as a win that I'm even considering it, because a month ago I was not considering it even a little bit. So
yeah. And I feel like when we've had this conversation before, it's been like shut down right away. And I'm like, oh yeah, you know me, I just keep bringing it up because I'm just going to keep suggesting it. And my thought behind that is like, what else is possible when you add this layer in and people are able to book online? And I shared this with you before we started recording, is there will always be people out there like me that you'll just never get to have the pleasure of being, my therapist, because I'm not going to call you because I don't like talking on the phone, right? And I'm not the only one like that. But once you have me as a client, I'm going to spend all my money there. And so we just want to be open to all of the different preferences that clients have and like the behaviors for how they eventually get to us. We want to remove all of the barriers. You're working on it. It's not broken. So whatever, it's going good. Okay. What would you say is your very favorite part of your myofascial release business?
I love working with my clients, and I love seeing what's possible for them. And I love the transformations that happen. Like, I don't know. So one gal came in and she had a frozen shoulder that was stuck for like 8 years, and she couldn't lift her arm really above arm height. And after one session, she was able to have full range of motion in the shoulder, which is unbelievable. And I'm convinced that it was actually all emotional, that's why the shoulder was stuck, and the fact that we're able to tap into that emotion. But like I tell people when they're like, oh my God, that's amazing. I'm like, yeah, I had another frozen shoulder client presented exactly the same way. That was 18 sessions. So it's not like we have a magic wand. But I love seeing my clients, like one gal came in with a walker, couldn't even sit in a massage chair, had to work on her just in my folding chair. And then she couldn't get on the table. And then she couldn't get on the table. Like I had to lower the table. And now she doesn't even walk with a cane. And this is 6 months. So that's what I love about my business.
Mm-hmm. I love that too. And I love having a bank of those stories to share with clients, especially clients that are like, I want this to be fixed in one session. I've been in this pain for 20 years, but like one session ought to fix this. I don't have the time or the money or whatever. So like being able to pull these real wins that you've experienced with clients and share them. And when you're a new therapist and maybe you don't have a lot of experience under your belt, being able to observe other people's wins and sharing those stories, I think is very important because clients see themselves in other people. So that's really good. And I also like the way you compare that as like this one client had the frozen shoulder, they got relief in one session, but then this other person, it was 18 sessions. This other lady, walker to no walker in 6 months. That's still very, very incredible and very incredible. And I think too, when we take out the time component, it's just like 6 months is going to go by, whether you're in therapy or not. Wouldn't you rather have the results of being in therapy, even if it's micro win after micro win? I would.
Yeah. And my business is full of stories like that. And I'm so fortunate that the clients just respond so well to the work. I have to take myself out of it and realize that it's the clients and the work. It's not really me. And so sometimes clients do leave after a package and they didn't achieve everything they want, but that was their choice to not continue treatment because they felt like they weren't seeing it fast enough. But then they'll always sort of like send me a text. Oh, my head still feels better. You want to come in for treatment? No, because, I think it was da-da-da that helped.
Yeah.
Sure. Maybe it was the sound bath that fixed you.
Yeah, maybe. How have you, were you always easygoing about that? Or has it like something you've learned along the way in coaching that's helped you manage your mind around like when people discharge themselves early or when they don't get the result that you think that they should get?
So when I was a new therapist, I was totally fine with everything. And then after being in business for a while, I got into my head about if I'm helping people, why is it taking so long? Da, 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 da. And actually, you and I have had several conversations and several coachings through foundations that have brought me back to sort of reality and understanding that every client's journey is their own journey and they get the treatment that they need. And I am providing the correct treatment with MFR. And the results really are individual and not to take it personally. So, yes, there you go.
Yeah, that's a huge win because I see so many therapists struggle with that piece of the business of like, they didn't rebook or they wanted to be a one and done and like taking it personal, also judging themselves, judging the client, and then getting really stuck in a cycle of that to where, you almost stop selling and stop being in belief of the work or being in awe of it when you're stuck in that cycle. So it's super awesome to know that even though you've been in business for a while and you've been in coaching for a while, it's normal for your brain to have moments of disbelief or have moments of frustration, knowing that you can quickly get out of that, especially when you have awareness around it. And I think that's where the coaching component comes in, is like someone on the outside of your brain can be like, here's what I see. Can you feel that in your body? Like, do you want to stay there? Do you want to, what do you want to do? So that's really good. Now, do you still see horses as well? Or have you totally put that practice?
Because I'm so fully booked with my human practice, I don't have time for horses, to be honest with you. And part of that too is, when you have a horse business, you travel to the barns.
Okay.
And so just the travel time and then all the drama that happens at barns, getting the horse out of the field, cleaning him up, A 1 hour appointment becomes a 2 hour appointment. And I would have to charge like $500 an hour to make it worth my time to go see horses. So honestly, I mean, I have my own horse. So if I feel a need to go work and do some MFR, I'll work on my own horse.
Yeah.
But I really don't miss it.
Yeah. I think that's so interesting too, because we can love what we're doing and pivot and do something else and love it even more when we give ourselves those opportunities. So good for you for being willing to pivot into something new, not knowing how it would work out, like having to go and get a completely different education in order to do it. That's pretty amazing. What would you say your very favorite seminar has been so far?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Well, I've taken pelvis twice. And so I think after taking it the second time, really understanding balancing the pelvis has been a game changer in my business.
Yeah, that is such a key seminar.
I don't know where I was the first time I took it, because the second time I took it, I was like, I haven't heard that before. And I haven't heard that before. And then I used the same book and I went back and I saw that I had made a whole bunch of notes on that particular move. And I'm like, well, clearly I was in the class because that's my handwriting.
Clearly.
Just recently took Quantum Leap.
Oh, how was that?
I enjoyed that. That was really good too. We got to step on people's feet. So I thought that was cool. And actually something super cool happened to me while I was at Quantum Leap. So I don't know if you know that I took pretty much the month of October off, right? I was in Sedona for 2 weeks and then I was home for a week and then I was in Spain for 2 weeks. Not answering the phone, I'll have you know, because I didn't have any booking. But anyway, the long and the short of it is I made $10,000 in October being on vacation.
Yeah.
So I love that. I was at Quantum Leap and I think I got 6 new clients while I was at
Quantum Leap. Love that. Even without online booking.
Even without online booking. Exactly.
I love that. I think it's so fun to be able to have a business and have time off and still have a $10,000 a month. And I think people that are not in the program really don't understand how that is, because I think there could be this expectation that in order for you to create a $10,000 a month or a $100,000 a year, you have to be working super hard. What's your perspective on that?
Yeah, I used to think you had to work super hard because I had to work super hard in my equine practice. When you work smart, it's so much easier. When you learn the words to sell the package and the client understands the value of the plan of care, it isn't just to sell the package. I mean, it's to get them to understand that MFR really is the solution. Like, I believe if my car broke down, I would give it MFR because I think MFR can fix everything. I really do.
Yeah.
And so that's what it was. I created a $10,000 a month out of, I sold 6 packages to the 6 new people. And then 2 of those people, they literally came and saw me once each. And then one signed her son up for a package, and then one signed her husband up for a package.
Yeah.
I also offered jump starts, which are the equivalent of intensives, and I sold 3 of those. So that's how you create a $10,000 month. It isn't by jazz-handsing around the table.
Yeah. Or hoping it works out, or like deciding you don't know how to talk about or sell MFR, right? Those are
It's
not
strategic selling.
Yeah.
That's it. That's why you have to be in this program. For those of you out there in podcast land, I'm serious. It is such a small investment of your income and so worth it. And at this point, I have fear of missing out. Total FOMO. I don't think I'll ever leave foundations, even if I'm around for 10 or 15 years, because I still learn something new. I love the Facebook group. I love the support. I will be in foundations forever.
I love that. Okay. So I agree because I love the program so much. Not to toot my own horn, but toodaloo. I love hearing that because I do try to always improve it, right? Like it's not the same program exactly that it was when you signed up in 2023. Like it keeps evolving with what people need and want. And if I've changed my opinion on something, I'll tell you guys, I'll be like, okay, I used to teach it this way, but now I'm teaching it this way because I just know differently, and you can do it both ways, but here's a more efficient way to do it. Like adding on the AI rate calculator has really solved a lot of problems for people who were omitting things because of discomfort. And it's easy when you're calculating it yourself to omit something to bring the number down to feel better. So now it's like that you fill out a form, you copy and paste the form into the calculator, and you get that answer. Then you would have to physically go back and manipulate the numbers in order to bring the number down, instead of just like, I don't need to pay myself, right? Or they would leave out the whole line item on paying themselves, which would significantly reduce your rate when you're working for free. So I love that we've kind of solved for that. There's still going to always be the humanness in, I don't know how to be the person that can charge $150, or I don't know how to be the person that can charge $200, or whatever it ends up being. And rates are so individual for each person based on that set of questions that we ask to get the facts and data to arrive at that number. Some people see 10 people a week. Some people see 5. Some people want to see 25. I don't know why that's a thing, but to each their own, and they all get to have an individual rate. Have you played with the AI rate calculator?
I have not, actually.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie, because I set my rate and I was like, this is what it's supposed to be. And then when it came time to raise it, I'm going to not lie. I just arbitrarily decided I needed $50 more.
Okay.
But there was no drama around that either.
Yeah.
Like, I just decided my resentment rate went up.
So if you're born like Gwen and like money and numbers like literally don't throw you off, this is a good way to do it, right? But if I was coaching you on it, I would be like, that's great. Now let's run the facts through to see where it matches up, just to make sure you're not missing anything. Because even when you do a $50 rate increase, you could still be undercharging.
I could be, but I don't believe I am. And everybody seems happy to pay $180. Nobody complains, and my initial is.
And even if they did complain, it would still be okay to charge it. It doesn't mean.
Actually, one of my friends was like, that's a lot of money. And I'm all, yeah, but I provide a specialty service. This isn't something that you're going to get everywhere. And guess what? You're not my ideal client. And if you don't feel like
I know friends and family with the feedback, and you're like, how much money have you paid me for sessions? Like, how many sessions have you had? Yeah, it's so funny. Okay. What is your favorite part about foundations? One of the favorite things, or maybe you have more than one.
I love all of it. I love the pop-ups that happen because those are really great. I love that it's evolving. I really liked the advanced selling that you did, that one seminar or pop-up on strategic and advanced selling. I thought that was great. I love the Facebook group and the support of everybody. And, I like that everybody shares. And so when it comes to creating emails, we can all sort of give feedback on the email and then use it ourselves, of course, with our own words, not being plagiaristic. But I like that it just lowers my workload to have 97 other brains in the Facebook group with me.
Yeah, that is fun. I love that you love the Facebook group so much.
I know, for being a technophobe, I love the Facebook group.
Yeah. I mean, it is easy. And I think most people by now are familiar with that technology. So it's an easy platform to be on. As long as you don't I don't have it on my phone. I only check it from my computer. I've had to develop habits. Well, I love coaching so much, and like that's where the majority of the like the day-to-day coaching takes place. So yeah, I would just be coaching like 24 hours a day if I had the app on my phone. So I've had to reel it in. It's like how MFR isn't an emergency, coaching isn't an emergency, but I do respond quickly, even with it just on my computer. I'm just telling on myself. Okay. Well, what else should we cover before we wrap up? Is there anything else you wanted to share or say about your business and your experience?
No, just everything has been super helpful. And for those of you that are debating it, you're not going to spend your money better in your business than getting coaching. It is so important. And making the calls every week, or at least making a priority to see the replays, are so important as well. What I do during the calls is I will listen, and I used to try and write everything down, but now I have a notebook where I'll just jot down packages, minute 16, brain work, minute 24, so that I can go back to the replay, which is huge, and actually then take the time to write everything out that I need to and re-listen to the specific things that I want to. So that's how I've learned to effectively use the coaching when other people are getting coached. And then it's also helpful when you coach me that I can go back and I'll be like, I was at minute 22. And then I can go back and see, because when you're getting coached directly, it's hard to absorb everything. But the fact that the replays are available is super helpful.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
I agree too. It takes a lot of courage to ask for coaching. And then there's like 55 other people just staring at you while you're getting coached. And so it can be a lot. But I also love like how supportive the energy in the room always is. And even when you're having a really hard time or you feel like the thing you're getting coached on, you should be over by now, everybody is just holding that space and wanting you to succeed and pulling for you, right? And there's someone that's one step ahead of you and there's someone that's 5 steps behind you. And they're all like, we can do this together, which is such a fun experience. It's fun for me to witness too and see as the coach, like how our community and the culture of our community has developed over time. It's pretty great. Okay. Well, I wanted to ask you one other question. What do you think is the future of your business? What are your goals for 2026?
So I have a jumpstart that I really like and I find it's really effective. And so my goal is to sell more jumpstarts, get people involved, and actually have longer jumpstarts, because right now my jumpstart is 2 days and I really want to expand it to 4 and 5 days, and also offer beyond Southern California. I want people that are in Michigan to realize they can come for 5 days and get an extended jumpstart. So that's sort of going to be my push for next year, is to sell these larger intensives.
Yeah.
For more time, because I think, the work builds on itself, and more work in a shorter amount of time gets you to the results that you want. So let's compress time and have a jump start.
I love that. And I do think any MFR practice can be a destination practice where people could fly in from anywhere, all over the country, all over the world. You just have to decide that that's what you want and make offers for that.
Yeah. I didn't really realize how much my reach was and could be until I started thinking about it. And then I'm like, why wouldn't people come to see me? But
yeah, I fly all over and get MFR. I love it. I love doing that. It's fun. Anywhere I go, I'm always looking like who's the local therapist. And sometimes it's difficult. Like this is one of those things that I'm trying to change universally, like throughout the culture of MFR therapists in general, is being found easily, being easy to make appointments with and easy to find. And I think it's coming along. Like more and more people have websites, more and more people have their picture on their website, more and more people have the online booking option, or like, at least on your website, it's very obvious what I should do to get an appointment. Some websites have no name, no picture, no contact information. It's just like, what am I doing here? And friend, like, let's get some stuff on here. So, okay, that's my soapbox for that. I just really appreciate you sharing your story and being a part of the program, being a longtime member in the program. I appreciate your business, and I appreciate you being an MFR therapist that's willing to make MFR mainstream and keep inviting people in to get myofascial release at your practice. Where can people find you? Do you want to share your URL?
Sure. Please visit www.performancemfr.com. And you can check out what I'm up to and see about the Jumpstart. And I would love, if you're debating whether or not to join foundations, you really take it to heart and see where you want your business to be. even in 6 months, because this is completely a transformational program. And I would not be where I am in my business without Heather and Foundations.
Oh, thank you so much, Gwen.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Awesome. All right, everybody listening, go and check Gwen out if you're in Chatsworth, California, or in the surrounding areas, or maybe you live on the other side of the country. You can still book an appointment with her by giving her a call. Check out her website, performancemfr.com. And I will see all of you next week on another episode of the MFR Coaches Podcast. Bye for now. Thanks for listening to the MFR Coaches Podcast. If you're ready to grow your myofascial release practice, make sure to sign up for my next free training. These live webinars are designed to help you take real steps towards building a fully booked, profitable business. You can save your seat and find the latest dates at themfrcoach.com/webinar. And if you're looking for more support, the Foundations program is now open year-round. Inside, you'll get coaching, tools, and community to help you get fully booked and stay that way without burning out. One last thing before you go. My brand new book, Your MFR Practice Starts Here, is now available. It's a must-read for any MFR therapist who wants to build a business that actually works. You can grab your copy on Amazon and get your companion guide by going to themfrcoach.com/book. Start implementing right away. I'll see you in the next episode.